Assalamu alaikum, hello and welcome. Today we are going to talk about a question. We need to answer one question. How did Ruto, president-elect, manage to win the presidential election held on the 9th of August 2022? And we will consider several factors. Factor number one is the president, the current president, the outgoing president, was not on his side. The government was not on his side. And state machinery, the outgoing president, were on the side of Raila. Despite all those facts, Ruto managed to win the contest. How did he do it? This is the question I'm going to briefly try to answer. Number one, as an individual, Ruto is a relentless, hard-working individual. He's a go-getter, no doubt about that. Many of you know the kind of person he is. So number one in quality was his personality, his approach to winning. Number two is the team he surrounded himself with. So it is him as an individual. Number two, the people that surrounded him. And I'll briefly say something about the people who surround Ruto. These people are competent people. And if I define competency, is they have the skills, they are loyal, they have the skills, they are loyal, and they are energetic. If you are going to recruit someone, and I will give you this one for free, if you are going to recruit anyone, an individual, for any job, you need to consider these qualities, three qualities: skill, energy, and loyalty. So the people who surround Ruto have these three qualities. So we say number one is about his personality as an individual. He's a go-getter. Number two, the people who surround him. Number three is the strategy he employed. And I'll also briefly talk about the strategy. He went out to get people who could bring him votes from two regions. The third region, he comes from that area, the Rift Valley. So it is him who brought those votes from Rift Valley. So there were other two regions that he needed to get people who could bring almost or even more than 80% of the votes. And people were doubtful that the Mulembe nation from Western Kenya, the Baluya people, will give Ruto votes, but he managed to get the votes. So he went out to get Mudavadi and Wetangula, and Mount Kenya, he got his running mate, Gachagua. So you can see the effect. He got overwhelming votes from these regions. He did not go and bother about Northeastern region, because Northeastern are, the people in Northeastern are somehow divided. They are not united. They don't have a leader who can bring them together. So he just left this region to do what they want to do. About the strategy again, he made sure that there were people in all the 46,000 plus polling stations. You can imagine the kind of logistics you require to have people in these regions. There was sometimes back in 2017, I was in Kiambu. I was the returning officer for Jubilee, and it is not an easy task. And that is when I worked with, Ruto. Not directly, but through some people. And that's where you understand that polling stations matter. As a returning officer in Kiambu, I did not know and I did not bother what was going on in the polling stations. My task was to get the results from the returning officer, constituency returning officer, and compile the results. My task was to read out the result. So if I was compromised, I will have fiddled with the figures that came through from the polling stations. And people tried to, set up some things. People talked, they came, they explained the things. But my position was very clear. I will announce the winner based on the result, period. And that is what happened. There was no problem in Kiambu the second time. So Ruto focused on the polling stations. And that is very important. That is why Raila people messed up. If you ask them, do you have your own tallying center, or do you have results from your own tallying center? They don't have. They did not have agents. They did not bother about getting their own figures. And that is why even if they go to the Supreme Court to petition, they will find an uphill task to explain, to put forward their argument where they will, petition. What prayers are they going to put forward? So, in conclusion, Ruto had three important factors that helped him to win this election. Number one is him as an individual. He's a hard worker, he's a workaholic, he's disciplined, and to add on that, he is someone who keeps his promises. So if he brings people together, he tells you, you'll get this, and you'll get that. He'll make sure that everyone gets what they were promised to get. That's why people trust him. So as an individual quality played a great role in his win. Number two, his team played a great role in his win. Number three, the strategy he employed. Then one of the strategies, I mentioned the polling stations, I mentioned the regional leaders bringing. Number three strategy was to secure bombers. Do you think that the fracas that happened when the Chebukati wanted to announce, the way it was handled, do you think it was something that was not planned? I think Deputy IG was there purposely to control the situation. Ruto knew when he was coming to Bomas that Raila people, these Azimia people, are hell-bent to cause chaos. From time immemorial, Raila is someone who causes problems. So Ruto knew that there was going to be a problem, and he put a plan in place to make sure that if something happens, it is put down quickly. And that chaos, the chaos that happened there, did not last more than 1 minute or maximum 2 minutes. If there was no plan, Chebukati will not have read the results. The people who were hell-bent to cause the chaos will have succeeded, and the place will have been a war zone. and it will have gone out of hand. So strategy number 3 was to secure Bomas. Bomas was secured. And that is how the results were announced. I don't know what you think, but if it is your first time you are coming across this channel, please hit subscribe. Even if you've been watching the channel, please subscribe. It will help the channel to grow, and so that I can bring you more quality videos. Thank you for taking time.